All right, so here is what's going to be our first Derby car of the 2022 Derby season. How hadn't I describe it? It is a leftover from last year. Got this, was it late August, just happened to come across it whenever I was out with family boating, and a guy had it sitting out in the yard. Looked really rough, didn't look like it run, but it said on the window, parts or Derby car. So I'm like, oh, it must run. So I went and talked to him. He said, yeah, it runs, and he said just doesn't have a battery sitting in it. So I went and got my battery, came back, and sure enough, it ran. It's a big car. As you can see, this is how it was sitting there. It's a Chrysler Sebring, so a bigger car than the other cars I have for this year to run. They're 4 cylinders. Got 2 more, but big car. It certainly looks like it's going to take a pounding. The nice thing about it, the gas lines are super clean. It's kind of the more modern fuel lines, so they don't rust out like the older ones did. And the windshield, the front and then the rear windshield, I actually last fall took out because I was planning on running it. There were a couple fall derbies. I had this in a Camry I was planning on running. I actually ran the Camry. But then I'm a school teacher, and whenever school starts and we have 3 kids that are in different sports, it's just, I'm doing everything by myself, and I'm not super efficient because I'm just not super knowledgeable. So it usually takes me a little bit more time to do everything on top of having our kids and them being in stuff. So I ended up just pulling this one into the field and parking it and putting a tarp over it. And so here we go. So it's, as I said, big car. It's got a bigger motor in it, and it runs, I mean, pretty well. It doesn't idle well, but I haven't really looked. I haven't done anything with the motor or anything like that. I literally just pulled it onto my trailer, pulled it off, and then pulled it back in the field, and then that was it. But you can see a ton of space in the motor. This is the fuse box. I just kind of unhooked there from the corner because, as you can see, I don't know who designed this. And normally, I guess, batteries are kind of right in this compartment here, but they're above the wheel inside kind of the engine mount area, or behind the core support, where it's really kind of tucked in and I would say safe. This car design has the battery sitting outside of the frame rails as well as the core support. I mean, completely exposed. Like, there's a little bit of kind of that sheet metal, whatever it is that was around this, as well as the plastic. But as you can see, it is right on top of that wheel, and just, I don't know who thought that was a good idea, especially with all the space that it has inside here. Even as I said, I have that fuse box sitting out. So I knocked that out because I'm going to splice up my wires so I can get it moving here. So yeah, this is kind of the first look. Again, motor-wise, we're just going to put our kind of chicken wires, I say there. We'll secure the fuse box, get the batteries, battery lines running inside. Otherwise, I am probably not going to do a darn thing up front. We're going to leave the core support and radiator. I mean, certainly unplug the sensors, make sure all the wires are kind of taped up and tucked in. Again, I don't cut anything in front of the motor. Take out the windshield washer, all that kind of nonsense, the horn. But otherwise, as I said, everything is, I mean, it's pretty tucked in, and there's quite a bit of space. So got big hopes for this old girl, but not really sure what we're going to get out of it. Because, I mean, as I said, it runs well. It doesn't really idle well. I haven't really ridden around much, and as you can see, I mean, she's certainly rusted, as all these, derby cars are. They're just kind of somebody left behind. This one was a field car, in essence. The guy was just horsing around with it. I've taken off the interior door panels, too. That was literally it. And the seat was sitting here, and as you can see, even with what I've cleaned up, I don't know if you can see with the sunlight, this car was sitting in the field. I mean, it was a mess. That was like, I was totally surprised. You can see here the windshield wiper lever and everything's busted up, but as I said, it runs. It's a big car, so here we go. We're going to try to get all the inside stuff kind of taken care of today, all that junk stuff. And then my father-in-law's pole barn, he doesn't usually like me leaving stuff in there at all. We'll take the rear bumper off for long, but we're about 5 days away from the Derby we're planning on running, so we're going to try to get her cleaned up. So here we go. All right, so just a quick update here on how we're going. We pretty much have all the kind of cosmetic things off, if you will, on the outside, from the lights to that bumper that was just hanging back there. You can see pretty big. I think I still have it unlashed yet. Pretty big trunk to her. Said if I had extra time, or if I wanted to, they say prop up that spare tire holder there. Helps it kind of roll in and up so it doesn't drag on you. But again, I don't think, I don't know this girl. Ran around the yard a little bit. Motor runs. Doesn't idle the best, but it does idle. The motor, though, seems like it's pretty burnt up. Like, it didn't have really any water in the motor when I got it from the guy. I put pretty much a whole jug in. So, not really sure what we're getting running-wise. So, really, the only thing I've left to do is the passenger side airbag. Pop that out of there, and then the stock tank is sitting. See, right there's the top where the fuel pump's right underneath it. And again, the tank's sitting right here in front of, you know, your wheel axle here in the back, your back wheels. And I mean, it's a big car, it's got enough. I mean, it's a stock class, so I don't know. I might just leave it stock because I'm not really sure what the, I mean, the motor again runs, but she just kind of piddle farting around, as my boy says. Not really running great, so who knows how long it'll run. I don't want to put in extra work if it's not going to do kind of anything special. The other two cars I have, they're pretty good runners. You can see inside the carpet, it was just soaked sitting in here. A couple little critters crawling around. I put a hole back here. I don't want to drill any more because if I do use my tank from last year, I'll put it right there. Got my new Smith's Metalworks battery holder put up there with my brand new gel marine battery, a very expensive battery, but it's got a 3-year warranty for replacing for anything. And said last year 2 derbies I knocked myself out, so with just the battery gone dead. Put air in this tire, seems to hold, so I think we're just gonna run while there. Did have a spare with it, but it's a giant spare and I don't have any other that big, so I can't really switch them on the back. So pretty much it outside. Again, I'm gonna pull the air bag and just try to get a little bit of the water and extra crap in there out, and then we're gonna pull it into, again, my father-in-law's pole barn, get it up on the ramps, pull the bumper down there. I actually think there might be a small converter in the middle of the bumper. He took the one off right behind the motor, but might be one there. We'll see. Might get lucky, get a little bit of money back for the car. And then we'll look at the tank. That's really it. I mean, airbag, passenger airbag, drop the muffler off, which it's already cut off, just hanging there, and then we'll see what we do with the tank. So she's coming along up front. Again, if you're someone super savvy, I don't do much up here. I did put water in it. We'll see how she runs. Here's my battery terminals. I just unhooked the amps or fuse box here and laid it on its side. I'll kind of string that up with my zip tie, so it's in, and I'll secure it so it's inside the frame rail here, but kind of out of the way. This here, you can see I just cut that piece there. I'm going to try to unbolt it. That whole thing should come off, and this fender, I mean, it's not too sturdy, but it had that extra mount there gone across, so not a big deal there. But yeah, running the battery terminals in how I typically do. I asked some guys at AutoZone, they said, yeah, that shouldn't, you know, the taping it up with a U-bolt shouldn't be pulling extra charge or anything like that. And then here's the, if you can see with the shade, there we go. Here's the transmission lines rather coming out into there. Again, with these automatics, you got to loop those, otherwise you take any damage up front, you start using out your transmission fluid and you're sitting there with a running car but dead in the water. Just do a simple, again, little chicken wire, clamp that on there for the air hose, and then just pulled the fuses up front. This one had one on each corner. Make sure I didn't miss any other of those, and again, otherwise we're pretty much running her straight stock. So probably about 7-8 hours I'd say in, especially with the glass. My boy, shout out to my boy Hudson, helped me take the kind of that annoying part in the back. It was actually last fall. I took the front out probably about an hour, taking the glass out there. And I guess the only other thing is the doors, the power windows don't work, so I'm just going to pop out here these so I can get the window lifted up, kind of get it off the motor there and the mount, and then I'll just slide that window up and out because none of the power windows work. So she's coming along. Again, hopefully you have a fun time with her. Not really sure what we'll get out of her. It's a big car, but that motor doesn't seem to be pulling a lot of power, so we'll see.